This episode is brought to you by Love Hurts. Kiwi Kwan has had quite a career, from childhood roles in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and The Goonies to a recent Academy Award win for Everything Everywhere All at Once. But now Ki finally stars as a leading man in the film Love Hurts. Love Hurts is the perfect date night movie with its mix of over-the-top action, comedy, and a ton of heart. Love Hurts, only at theaters February 7th.
This episode is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the date of the big game first before you accidentally buy tickets on your 20th wedding anniversary and have to spend the next 20 years of your marriage making up for it. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
Now tuned into the greatest.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
The Run, the Manny Wilson podcast.
The best sports podcast there is.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. I appreciate you tuning in to the first interactive sports podcast. You know, a community that makes sure your voice is heard. So if you have something you agree with, you disagree with, you like or you dislike, go ahead, shoot us a quick take. And I promise we'll play it back on our next episode. Share all of the quick takes for everybody you got there. We actually got a couple of them today, so we'll play it. We'll get through it. And I haven't listened to them, so I don't know what's going on. But anyway, speaking of episodes, man, shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode. Get $20 off your first ticket purchase when you use the promo code The Run Podcast. This code can be applied for first-time users only on the mobile app or website. So I don't know about you, but if you haven't used SeatGeek, you need to go ahead, create that account, and then use the promo code, save yourself $20. Go to one of these basketball games, go to a concert, anything you can purchase a ticket from. So shout out to SeatGeek. Anyway, look, man, the first things first, we just had a crazy round of the AFC Conference Championship, the NFC Conference Championship game. Both of them went down. One game was better than the other, and I think it's easily said, and it's not really a wild statement here to say that the Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills game turned out to be the best game out of the two when you're talking about the AFC Championship versus the NFC Championship. Now, let's focus in on that Chiefs and Bills game because Chiefs ended up winning 32-29 to advance to their third straight Super Bowl. First, this is insane. I think I heard a stat or seen a stat. I can't remember which one it was. I think I might have seen it on Twitter. It was a stat that said out of the 8 teams that were on the verge of three-peating, only 2 of them actually went back to the Super Bowl. Don't quote me exactly on that statement, but there was multiple teams that had the opportunity to three-peat, and none of them did it. So this is the potential chance for the Chiefs, man. They got one game left to actually complete the three-peat. And I think it's inevitable at this point they would be crowned the greatest dynasty of all time. I mean, obviously, you already would have that argument with Patrick Mahomes of being the greatest quarterback of all time, which I think he is. I just think the game evolves and the skill set continues to evolve. And right now, Patrick Mahomes is showing us things that we've never seen from any other quarterback. He's able to break down defenses from similar to how we've seen Tom Brady do, but also the skill set and athletic ability is far beyond what we've ever seen Tom Brady do in a lifetime. Like it's crazy. So before I even talk about the game and everything that happened, I got to address some narratives first because there was a lot of people that told me, the Bills is going to win this time. They said that the Bills is different, Josh Allen is different, and let's address some of these because let's have a little fun with it. Now, I can't believe y'all thought Patrick Mahomes is going to lose, first of all. I told you. We've seen Patrick Mahomes run through the AFC with no receiving options. He ran through the AFC with Kadarius Toney as his number 1 receiver, and he still ended up winning the Super Bowl. So now that he had Hollywood Brown back, he had DeAndre Hopkins back, like I just knew. And he had his running backs finally. Like, come on, man. I knew it was just going to somehow favor the Chiefs. That's the first thing. I just had a feeling And we'll address all the other stuff and the nonsense in the game of calls and all. But another thing that we got to address, the narrative of, Josh Allen is different this year. He going to be different. He beat him in the regular season. And let me tell you, bro, I tried to tell y'all right away, but, the Bills, this is what they do, man. Every time they've beaten the Kansas City Chiefs in the regular season, the Chiefs went on to win a Super Bowl. And this is what's going on again and again. This is what we're witnessing happen right in front of our eyes. I put out a video. It was an episode, maybe I think it was right after all that Week 11 stuff when the Bills won and they beat the Chiefs. People got way too excited. People got way too hype about a regular season win when the only wins that matter for Pat Mahomes is the postseason. He turns into a different beast. The team cleans up. They become disciplined all of a sudden. They don't make mistakes all of a sudden. They no longer play to the level of their competition all of a sudden. It's remarkable from what I see with the Kansas City Chiefs. And man, all that talk of Josh Allen is different. Josh Allen is different. Yeah, you're right. He's different. He was 0-3 against the Chiefs in the postseason, and now he's 0-4 against the Chiefs in the postseason. So I think right now that just goes to show it's safe to say that Pat Mahomes is Josh Allen's kryptonite. I don't know what that man does and how he does it, but somehow the Chiefs always figure out a way to beat the Buffalo Bills when it matters most. And Josh Allen has had a great season. I think he has played different than what we've seen him do in the previous years. He's limited his turnovers. He's taken care of the ball tremendously. I mean, he's been very accurate and just very particular and smart when picking apart the defense. So he's definitely been, different. But man, when it comes to Pat Mahomes, it's clear that Pat Mahomes is still that man kryptonite. So don't get too hyped over them regular season wins. That's another thing right there that y'all needed to hear. Now, Josh Allen, in terms of his playoffs, if it wasn't Mahomes, he would probably be in the Super Bowl right now. I think he has a record of 7-6 in his playoff record, wins and losses. 4 of those losses came from the Kansas City Chiefs. One was his rookie season back in 2020, or his early season, whatever it was. He was very, very young back in 2020. And then the other was to Joe Burrow, who's also beat Patrick Mahomes in the postseason. So, I mean, anybody but Patrick Mahomes, and I feel like Josh Allen would have had the advantage this year. He would be going on to play the Eagles, but it just so happens that was not the case. And it seems like he can beat everybody besides Patrick Mahomes. Now, the game, let's break the game down really quick. I want to spend too much time on this, but the thing I want to address here is the allegations of the Chiefs just cheating game after game. You knew the Chiefs was going to win because they were cheating. The refs, this is what they do. They cheat for the Chiefs. I just want to ask, man, and I want to know, I've seen, obviously, watching the NFL, you're going to see the Chiefs get some bogus calls that go their way. We've all seen that happen through the course of the season. I can name maybe 4 or 5 weeks where that clearly happened, where the Chiefs wasn't supposed to win a game, but a call went in their favor. Now, I will say, these game-deciding calls, these fake pass interferences that the Chiefs may get, or these holding calls that just work in the Chiefs' favor, or late hits and stuff like that work in the Chiefs' favor. I get that. I understand, if this is happening in crucial moments of the game, it's bogus. It's not supposed to go down like that. But don't talk to me and tell me that the Chiefs is getting all these love from the referees and they getting these lovely calls from the referees that's helping them win the games when it's a second down in the first quarter. I don't want to hear nothing about how the Chiefs is getting so much love from the refs when in the past few games, we ain't even really seen no game-deciding calls. See, a lot of people, I feel like with casuals, man, and maybe it is casuals, maybe it's heavy fans that watch the game, but when I'm looking at the games and I'm seeing a referee miss a call or have a call that could go both ways, that's debatable, go in the Chiefs' favor, that's nothing that's just okay, they want the Chiefs to win. To me, that's just a bogus call. That's just, it could have went either way. So, I mean, it seems like it just fell in the Chiefs' decision. Now, I know that sometimes they always feel like, damn, why does every toss-up type of call fall in the Chiefs' favor? And that has happened. But in the past 2 games against the Texans and against the Bills, that has not been the case. A lot of people bring up that the 4th and inches that Josh Allen did a quarterback dive for. To me, that genuinely did look like he did not cross the play. He did not cross the first down marker with the ball. Now, I know, again, that could have went either way, but if the NFL don't want to invest in the technology, then I guess we'll never freaking know. We'll just never know, because we see Soccer leagues, they got the technology to tell if a man was offsides or if the ball got in the goal or not. We see it with tennis. They got things to say if the ball went out of bounds or not. But the NFL, they continue to stay behind in terms of investing in technology that's going to actually help them be able to perfect these calls that could go either way. So in stuff like that, in situations like that, it is tough. It's tough to watch sometimes, but as long as it's nothing that's just blatant and obvious, I think I'm okay with the call going either way, especially when the other team has gotten away with some calls, which we've seen against the Texans and which we've seen against the Bills, where teams got away with calls. There was a couple holding calls. There was a couple offsides calls as well that were not called for the Buffalo Bills. But in terms of anything that was just blatant, like a call that was just clear cut, obviously wrong, that was not the case at all in any of the games that the Chiefs have played so far in the playoffs. So I know the whole cheating narrative is fun. Everybody's jumping behind it. Nobody wants to see the GOAT three-peat. But, bro, you got to call it for what it is, man. If the dude is good and can't nobody beat him, then accept that. He's good and can't nobody beat him. Embrace it, bro. We'll probably never see this again. I'm actually positive we probably won't ever see this again. A quarterback dominate, go to the Super Bowl 3 straight times and win? Like, bro, come on, man. Like, I cannot wait to watch this happen, and I'm trying to make sure I embrace every single moment of it because it's crazy. This is unheard of. Tom Brady did not do that. Peyton Manning did not do that. Eli, anybody, like you can name Joe Montana. No, none of these great Hall of Fame quarterbacks ever three-peated, and we're on the verge of watching somebody do that. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. So I'm all for it. Anyway, look, man, we got some voicemail callers as well. So let's jump into the voicemail callers, but we'll take a quick break and then we'll go ahead, play the voicemail and jump into some news.